Sometimes, the quietest moments hold the deepest secrets. What we think we understand is often just the surface. There's a story waiting if we're willing to look closer. By the way, this channel posts one insight like this every day, so if this breakdown helps you, consider subscribing. Technology is racing ahead at a pace that often leaves our moral compass struggling to keep up. Every day, new inventions and breakthroughs reshape how we live, work, and connect. But while technology can evolve seemingly overnight, our ethical frameworks, the rules and values that guide what we consider right or wrong, tend to move much more slowly. Take, for example, the rise of artificial intelligence. A decade ago, AI was mostly the stuff of science fiction or specialized research labs. Today, it's woven into the fabric of everyday life. From the algorithms that curate our social media feeds to sophisticated systems that assist doctors in diagnosing diseases, AI is transforming our world in profound ways. But this rapid advancement raises questions that society is only beginning to grapple with. When an AI system makes a decision, say about who gets a loan, or how a self-driving car reacts in a potential accident, who is truly responsible? Who gets to decide what values are programmed in? These aren't just technical questions. They touch the very core of our ethics. Consider facial recognition technology. Initially celebrated for its ability to enhance security and streamline identification, it has since sparked intense debate. Cases of misidentification, particularly among marginalized communities, have revealed biases embedded deep within these systems. This isn't just a technical failing. It reflects a larger issue about whose data is collected, whose voices are heard, and how power is distributed. And then there's the question of privacy. Our phones, smart devices, and apps collect staggering amounts of personal information every second. We often trade our data for convenience, sometimes without fully understanding the consequences. What does privacy mean in a world where even the walls seem to have microphones and cameras? How do we protect individuals' rights without stifling innovation? These challenges underscore a critical point. Technology itself is neutral, but how we choose to create, deploy, and regulate it reflects our collective values. The lag between technological capabilities and ethical guidelines isn't just an unfortunate side effect, it's a call to action. We need conversations that bring together engineers, policymakers, ethicists, and everyday people, not in isolated silos, but as a community, grappling with these complex issues. It's easy to be overwhelmed by the pace of change, or to assume that laws and regulations will catch up eventually. But history shows us this is rarely the case. Technologies often outpace society's ability to understand and manage their impact, leading to unintended consequences. Think back to the early days of the internet. It promised unprecedented freedom and connectivity, and in many ways it delivered, but it also opened the floodgates to misinformation, online harassment, and a market for personal data that few fully anticipated. Those who designed the protocols didn't foresee the nuanced ways people would use and sometimes abuse this technology. So, what does this mean for us right now? How can we begin to bridge the gap between what technology allows and what should be allowed? It starts with awareness, with asking critical questions, with demanding transparency and accountability. But it also means understanding that ethical frameworks are not static. They evolve as we learn, as societies change, and as new challenges emerge. In this ongoing dialogue, every voice matters. From the coder debugging lines of code at midnight to the community leader advocating for digital rights, the future of technology and ethics is a shared responsibility. And perhaps the most profound realization is that this isn't just about technology. It's about the kind of world we want to build together. It's a world where progress doesn't come at the expense of dignity or justice, where innovation is balanced by empathy. This delicate balance requires patience and humility, acknowledging that mistakes will be made, but also that they can be lessons guiding us toward better choices. In many ways, the story of technology and ethics is one of relationship, a relationship not just with machines but with each other. How do we maintain our humanity in an age increasingly defined by algorithms and data? How do we ensure that the tools designed to serve us don't instead divide or diminish us? These questions invite reflection, the kind that asks us to slow down, to listen, and to engage deeply. Because while technology shapes the world around us, it is ultimately shaped by the values we hold within ourselves and our communities. So as we stand at this crossroads, it's worth remembering that progress is not a finish line, but a journey. one that unfolds quietly in conversations, in the choices we make every day, and in the courage to envision and work toward a future that honors both innovation and integrity. And in that space between what is possible and what is right, we find the true essence of our shared humanity. It's in that space where hope resides, a hope rooted in the belief that we can steer technology toward outcomes that uplift rather than undermine, that connect rather than isolate. This hope isn't naive. It acknowledges the complexity, the messiness of human nature, and the systems we build. But it insists that when faced with uncertainty, we choose reflection over reaction, inclusion over exclusion, and empathy over indifference. Ultimately, the story of technology and ethics is not just one of challenges or risks. It's a story of potential, the potential to create tools that amplify our best qualities, that help us solve long-standing problems, that empower voices long ignored. It's a story that reminds us that progress isn't measured merely in lines of code or gadgets produced, but in the lives touched and the communities strengthened. So maybe the quiet moments, the ones where we pause and ask the hard questions, are the most important after all. Because in those moments, we reclaim our agency. We remember that behind every innovation is a human choice, and within every choice lies the power to shape a future that reflects the values we hold dear. And as we continue to navigate this unfolding landscape, perhaps what matters most is not having all the answers, but holding space for ongoing dialogue, compassion, and learning. After all, the future is less about what technology makes possible, and more about what we make possible with technology. Because in the end, technology is a mirror, one that reflects not only our ingenuity, but also our aspirations, fears, and imperfections. It challenges us to look inward as much as outward, to question not just what can be done, but what should be done. And in doing so, it invites us to engage with the profound responsibility that comes with creation. This journey is never straightforward. It twists and turns through debates and dilemmas, triumphs and setbacks. Yet it is through this complexity that growth emerges, both for our technologies and for ourselves. Each step forward is an opportunity to realign our inventions with the human values that give them meaning: fairness, respect, kindness, and justice. So as we move ahead into this uncharted territory, let's carry with us a sense of humility, a recognition that the future is not predetermined, but something we shape together, moment by moment. It's a future that belongs not just to the architects of code or the architects of policy, but to every individual who dares to imagine a better world. And maybe, just maybe, the quiet moments where we pause to reflect are the very moments where the seeds of that better world are planted. In those spaces, between innovation and intention, we find the possibility of something truly human, a future where technology serves not as a force of division, but as a bridge to greater understanding. And as the day draws to a close, there's a gentle reassurance in this thought, that even amid the relentless pace of change, there remains a place for patience, for reflection, and for the enduring belief in our shared capacity to choose wisely. Because at the heart of it all, technology is an extension of ourselves, our creativity, our fears, our hopes. It carries the imprint of our humanity, both its flaws and its beauty. And as we navigate this ever-shifting landscape, perhaps the most important tool we have isn't the most advanced algorithm or the latest device, but our ability to pause, to listen, and to care. In those quiet moments, we connect not only with the world we are building, but with the kind of people we want to become. It's a subtle, ongoing dance between progress and purpose, one that asks us to hold complexity with grace and uncertainty with courage. So as the night settles in and the hum of machines slows, there is space to remember that the future isn't written in code alone. It lives in the choices we make, the conversations we have, and the values we carry forward, quietly, steadily, and with intention. And in that gentle unfolding, there is something profoundly hopeful, an invitation to shape a world where technology is a reflection not just of what we can do, but of who we are.